Hey guys, welcome back to ArtiumPro. In today's video, we're going to go over premium and discount zones where you can find yourself better deals, where you can lower your emotions whenever you trade. That way you can become more profitable long term. Now, I'm having quite a few people ask how to use ArtiumPro's indicator. I'm going to get in here and I'm going to show you some aspects with the premium discount zones where you can actually take your trades from. We are not going to be doing any kind of signal service, telling people where to buy, anything like that. We believe we have the best SMC indicator product that's on the market. I'm going to show you how to use that correctly with your SMC strategies. But utilizing ArtiumPro is going to save you thousands of hours of time on marking up your charts. And you can go from one asset to the next and everything automatically be there for you. So whenever we look at the 4 hour on EURUSD, we're going to break this down. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to make some protective highs on the current direction flow. Now you can pretty much see during the last year, we just continue to move lower and lower on EURUSD. And technically this next lower high would also be intermediate protected high. So each one of these legs that we've dropped off on, right here's a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, all the way down. Okay, we're currently about to make a lower low. Now if you are not day trading, the best scenario, if you're going to just say take a trade every week or two and you're going to be a longer term trader, this is a heck of a pattern to be holding for 1 to 2 weeks. So whenever you start looking at patterns and you start breaking down your SMC analysis, you want to see how long things actually take in the overall market, and it's going to differ on what time frame that you're using. Let's go ahead and draw our lows, and we have a future one coming up wherever it ends up at. Okay, so when you're looking at the 4 hour, you look like you could see a pretty solid pattern. But where people have trouble with is as they start to actively take trades, the price moves and stop losses get hit, and they can't find a real sense of consistency within their trading. And that's where these order blocks are going to come into ArtiumPro. And I'm going to get in here and zoom in a little bit closer so we can take a look. All right, so currently the prices were falling off the mount, but we do have 3 order blocks that popped up that are currently unmitigated. This fair value gap had been touched into approximately a little over 50%, and then we're currently still trending down. So there's a couple things that we're going to be waiting for ArtiumPro. So you can see this bull order block here that was mitigated. Now every one of these order blocks is going to be a point of interest for the asset to validate, bounce off of. It's not 100%, but they are pretty accurate. You can see this order block in particular right here as we were downtrending. This order block was formed and we tapped into the bottom of this order block before a retracement. So with this particular trade right here, if you're going to take your trade, just say at the bottom of the order block, and this is not a very long trade. You're on the 5-minute time frame, so probably less than an hour. This is a 2.1 ratio, and this would be if you were playing really big stop losses and you take profits. So you tapped in your order block, you played down to the low, and you would have nailed this profit. I mean, this is one particular trade setup you could take. Now, realistically, if you're going to wait on a little bit more of a confirmation, I really like this particular spot. You can see we tapped in this order block. We actually had a equal low, a little bit lower low, and we started consolidating up. So if you're going to take this trade right here, and then do your stop loss, above the previous high, you could do something like that. But this is a really low time frame trade. This is going to be like strategies for somebody who basically is a day trader. It's going to take multiple trades a day. Now, if you are more of a swing trader, like I said before, and you're wanting to take, longer trades, you can go up here to the 15-minute and do your analysis, or even the 1 hour. Now, if we go to the 1 hour, you can see the order blocks on the 1 hour. These here is going to be your fair value gaps. They're automatically going to be on the chart for you. Now, we can actually see there would be a fair value gap right here in particular. And let's say you want to see where some fair value gaps are up here. You would just go back into your ArtiumPro settings, scroll down here to fair value gaps, and this is the amount per side that's going to show. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is currently showing 5. If you pop this up to say, let's say see what 10 shows, you're going to have 5 more show up. So there's the fair value gaps there. So you can set this to whatever you want to have it a little bit cleaner. But if you want to see a little bit higher, you can do that as well. We also have the multi-time frame fair value gaps as well. That's going to help assist you with trading. The fair value gaps, imbalances in the market, it's going to be where prices tend to, eventually they're going to push to and mitigate. It's imbalances, it's where the buying or the selling side had all the pressure and then the other side didn't get to take entries. So the imbalance in the market is basically like a magnet into future price action. So whenever you start seeing these fair value gaps, a lot of them line up. Yeah, you're going to have a lot of selling pressure or buying pressure in that particular direction. So you got to wait for validation points, and that's where your order blocks are going to come into on your lower time frames. That's how I personally use ArtiumPro. If we go down to the 5-minute time frame, you're going to start seeing some order blocks. So you're going to refine your entries. So we know on the 1 hour, it looks like prices are going to go back up. Eventually it's got to start mitigating some of that imbalance. And we're just waiting for that price to get there, basically. Okay, where would you see the validation on the switch? Well, you're going to get those validations on lower time frames. Currently, right now, on this 2-minute, which is generally what I trade off of, we got 2 bull order blocks. And personally, I'd be looking towards this bottom one. Now, we can either continue to make lower lows. Now, we're on this 2-minute. Let's turn on the multi-time frame. And this is what I love about this. Let's change this back to the 1 hour. So we can see our 1 hour fair value gaps at the exact same time as we're on the 2-minute. And this is where we currently are. So we got a huge 1 hour imbalance up here. So if we were to get this price back down here to this order block, and like I said, you may stop out of this, but the risk management is where you're going to make long-term money. Like, nobody's a perfect trader. Nobody. And your risk management and win ratio is going to be everything. So if you want to play a longer trade, this setup only happens ever so often. So right here, the bottom of this would have been an order block. You would have stopped out on this. Yeah. So we went down lower. Currently, this is where we're at, and we're going to see if this order block here at the bottom holds. Now, this is a 23 RR trade. If this order block were to hold down here at the bottom, and we do see a reversal and trim, this would more than likely be hit. So your most accurate order blocks are going to be the ones that are on the bottom when you're wanting to do buys, and vice versa. If you're trying to do sales, the order blocks at the top are going to be your most accurate. Sometimes they never make it that far. We could bounce on this order block right here, consolidate, and we can start to move up. But the chances are, if you play the bottom on the bull side and the top on the bear side, and that's the only order blocks that you ever took trades from, your RRs are going to be higher and your win to loss ratio is going to be higher. So I'm trying to give some keynotes on how you can use ArtiumPro to help you become a better trader. It's going to take more patience. You can set alerts. If you're going to set an alert for this order block, so you can see when price tapped into it, right there is your, you just right click, set your alert. Very simple. Don't have to look at the charts 24/7, and that's it. So that's pretty much how I trade on. I love the 2-minute. I know. I look for overall buys, which we already did. We have the multi-time frame on the 1 hour. There you go. You get both of these with ArtiumPro. You get the multi-time frame and the SMC indicator, and that's pretty much how I utilize ArtiumPro. There's going to be traders that use it in all kinds of different ways. So many of you posted a profit this morning. So there's people posting profits all the time with ArtiumPro. Now, as people sign up and they ask questions, that's the reason why I'm wanting to clarify some of this stuff. And if you're a veteran at SMC trading, you're really not going to need these types of videos. If you've traded SMC for a while, you're going to see that ArtiumPro is a really great product for the order blocks and fair value gaps, and to see everything just at a glance. Snappy thumbs, and like everything that you need is already on your charts, and you don't have to spend hours on end. It's going to save you a buttload of time. Now, anybody who is wanting to learn SMC, you're going to have to spend time investing in your education. And there's 100 channels out there that talks about SMC that's got some really good information on it. All right, so let's go back up to the 4 hour. Now, all these protected highs and lower highs and lower lows we were talking about, I want you to look at this lower low and look at how close this lower high was to each other. Same scenario for this one and this one. And possibly future this one to this future one. So if you're taking longer term trades and you're looking for this sale up here in this area, obviously you would have an order block that you would be looking at. Regardless where you took the trade at, you would have hit that take profit, and there's no telling how many pips that would have been. So it's a longer term trade, a whole lot less stress out on you. A lot of people teach this way, longer term SMC trades. This is more basically SMC trading, you look at as like institutional type style trading. It's going to be your longer time frames. But now, if you're a consistent intraday trader and you like taking multiple trades, does that mean you're going to be less profitable than somebody who's taking this longer trade? No, your consistency is there, but you have to factor in this could last you for the entire month. So that was June 22, July 14th, so almost a whole month. And you can see the range that it went from. So this is EURUSD 107.3 down to 99.5, so roughly 8 cents of movement. Massive amount of movement for one particular trade. You don't have to look at the charts 24/7. You do your analysis on your higher time frames. You shrink down to your lower time frames for entry points, set your alerts. If you get in, you have your stop loss in place, you have your take profit in place, and that's it. The trade runs. There's nothing to be stressed out about. You have all your analysis done on the back end. You have your entry, stop loss, take profit in, and that's it. That's the trade. What happens is what happens. You could take a portion of your profit at the 50% mark. So after you've entered the trade, you can take some off the table if it's a resistance point. In particular, let's say this low hit, you were going to go back up. At the 40-50% mark, your preference, you want to take some of your trade, percentage off the table. Boom, set your alerts, do that, and, let the remaining part of your trade run. All right, guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the red subscribe button down below. If you'd like to try ArtiumPro's indicator out, you're going to get the SMC along with the multi-time frame. You can get that at ArtiumPro.io. It's only going to cost you $1 for 7 days to try the product out. Just come over here, hit try now, and you'll pick whichever plan that you want. After you join, make sure you join up in our Discord channel. That way you can stay up to date and trade with us. I hope each of you have a great weekend, and I look forward to seeing y'all next week in our trading group. Take care.
Man, I still go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried.